What's up, everyone? So today I wanted to make a video basically making a top 10 uh, cards of Spark of Rebellion. Spark of Rebellion has been out for about a year right now, and with time we've gotten to know the cards and which cards basically have become part of like staples in decks. So this is my top 10. I think these are the cards that I've noticed that have affected the gameplay, decks, choices overall. But if you think that there are other cards that might be more relevant or more important as a top 10, let me know, definitely. I would love to see other cards out there. And let me just say, choosing only 10 cards out of this set was very hard to do because there are a lot of great cards in Spark of Rebellion. A lot of good staples. So we'll have a top 10 that I think are important, but also some honorable mentions because it's kind of a way of cheating the system to add more cards to a list, right? So this is we'll start off with number 10. Sabine. Sabine Wren is an uncommon card for aggression heroism that I think is one of those cards that is used in the Sabine deck, aggression decks, because it is a cheap first round card that you can play. It attacks for 2, defense for 3, but on attack you may deal 1 damage to the defender or base. So essentially you're going to do 3 to the base most likely. But the good thing about this card, the interesting thing is that once you get those 3 aspects out, it can't be attacked. So it has that interesting effect there. So you have the 2 aspects already. You have the aggression ability. You just need 1 more on the table, and then she can't be attacked. So Sabine Wren has been one of those number 1 cards since the beginning, and it continues to be used in heroism. So definitely a card that is important in the game. Next, my number 9 choice is another aggression card, Ruthless Raider. Ruthless Raider is another uncommon card, and it costs 6, but what it does is nice, and it's desirable, because basically when you play this card, you're going to deal 2 damage to a base and 2 damage to an enemy unit. So already coming in, Ruthless Raider is going to do 4 damage. That's hard. That's very aggressive. And then you have this capital ship that basically is out there hitting for 4, defending for 6, so it's gonna stand, it's gonna stay a few rounds. But then once you're defeated, you're gonna do another 4 damage on top of probably, you're doing the 4 when you come in, you're probably gonna do at least 1 more attack with 4. That's 8, and then when you get defeated, you're going to do another 4. That's 12 damage total with 1 unit, which is pretty strong. And not only that, but you could have more than 1 Ruthless Raider out if you want, because it's not a unique card. So imagine putting out Ruthless Raiders one after the other. Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive card, and I've noticed that this is one of the staples as well for like Vader or other villainy aggression decks. Let's go to number 8. Number 8, the Reinforcement Walker. Reinforcement Walker also one of those cards that you need in a command deck, because basically it's a walker, so you're already gonna deal a lot of damage, but also you're gonna stay at least 2 rounds just because of the 9, unless obviously they put some kind of vanquish or something on you. But let's say they don't, you're attacking for 6. But what's nice is that when you play this card, you're either gonna draw a card that you want, or if you don't want it, you discard it and you heal 3 damage from your base. Late in the game, when you play this card, it is key. Healing 3 damage from a base is great. But not only that, but when you attack, you're going to be able to do the same effect. Draw a card, keep it, or if you don't like it, discard it, heal another 3. So it's a good way to get that healing, the those late games where you're needing to stay alive a little bit longer just to be able to catch up or something. But once you put the reinforcement walker, it's a good help. Not only that, but when you play a card like this with Piet, the current Piet, he could ambush. You could ambush out and take anything out. That's basically 6 or lower. So definitely a great card to have in command. And the artwork, awesome artwork. And the good thing about this card is that it's not villainy or heroism, so you can use this card in any green deck. But yeah, this is definitely a great card to have, the Reinforcement Walker. Alright, my next card that I have here, that's a staple, especially in heroism, is the U-Wing Reinforcement. U-Wing Reinforcement got really popular early in the game. It's one of those cards that basically it helps you right at the end, because you're going to be looking for those units to come out and help you. So the thing is with this card is you search 10 cards in your deck and you get 3 units with a combined cost of 7 or less. So you can put out, a Battlefield Marine, 2 Battlefield Marines, and then something that may cost 1. You're putting out some units out there that can definitely help. What's that one with the Sentinel 4-3? It's called Echo Base Defender. Yes, the Echo Base Defender. It's a Sentinel. If you're able to draw 2 of those, you draw 2 of those. This card is very helpful. It's a rare, so it's a little bit harder to get this card. And when this card was released, it was one of those expensive cards to get, was the U-Wing Reinforcement, and it still continues to be a staple in a lot of decks, actually. So this is definitely one of those cards that has stuck around for a while, and it will continue to be an important card, in my opinion, until obviously the rotation, right? Who knows what card will replace this one, the U-Wing Reinforcement. Let's go to the next one, which is also an important card. This is card number 6 in my list, Super Laser Technician. Now, villainy has not had necessarily a way to ramp up into those big units quickly, but Super Laser, actually, that's my bad. Heroism has not had a way to ramp up quickly. On the other hand, villainy has this card along with resupply, but it has a unit card that you're able to ramp up to those big capital ships or anything else like a walker or something in villainy. And the Super Laser Tech is one of those cards that is great for ramping. It's still used in a lot of command decks, because basically on your second turn or second round, you're going to put out this unit if you draw it, and it's a 2/1. So essentially this is one of those cards that you want to get away quickly, just because of the when defeated effect. When defeated, you may put this unit into play as a resource and ready it. So basically, when you're putting this unit out, you're going to get a resource once it's gone, and it's ready to use. Other ways to ramp, like resupply, command, when you bring something in as a resource, it's already exhausted, you can't use it. But with this card, you're able to use that resource for something else in your hand. So if you have a way to bring out the Super Laser Tech, defeat it next round, you're able to play another card right from your hand. It's a great way to ramp. It's a great way to put one of those cards that you need to play immediately, or it could be a game changer. Definitely a ready resource is a great way to help control your opponent, because maybe you have an ambush card that could help, or some kind of removal, right? But Super Laser Tech is definitely one of those cards that is still being used. I still use it. I like this card just because if I want to ramp to a big unit, the Super Laser Tech will definitely help. Alright, the next card is number 5. we're getting to the top 5 here, cards that I think that are key, very important cards in Spark of Rebellion. Number 5 for me was the Avenger. The Avenger is a capital ship that it is 9, it costs 9. It's an expensive ship, but the power on this card is impressive. Just because when you play this card, your opponent's going to choose a non-leader unit and defeat it. And you're going to do the same thing when this unit attacks. So Avenger was good in Spark of Rebellion, even in the second set. Maybe the third set, this helped lower the punishing effect of this card just because of the tokens that we have out. But if they don't have any tokens, if they have units that are big, that are hard like to remove, once you put Avenger out, they have no choice. They have to remove that unit. You know, they have to choose between, you know, sometimes it's one of those things where they choose between a low cost and a high cost unit. But when they have 2 high cost units, 2 powerful units, and they have to defeat one, it's hurtful for them, but satisfying for you, right? Because you worked up to bring out the Avenger, and essentially when you attack, you're doing the same thing. You're clearing out their board, and the Avenger will stay out for a few rounds, you know, unless it gets removed, like I said before. But then, you know, once you attack, you're attacking for 8. So yeah, it's a pretty strong card. Great art, by the way, on the Avenger here, and it's a legendary. So this is already one of those cards that it's going to be hard to get, and pretty valuable as well, especially for vigilance decks, for those control decks. Now, number 4, Luke Skywalker. Another legendary card. Luke Skywalker is still being used, but the power of Luke is great just because, you know, it comes out of 7, 6, 7, you know, attacks for 6, defense for 7, but it has the restore 3. When Luke attacks, you're healing for 3. That's big, right? That helps a lot. But the thing is here, when you play this card, you're going to give an enemy unit -3/-3. So it could be a card that's already damaged and it just needs those 3 to get removed. Or it could be a unit that has 3 or less power or health. You remove it. But the key here is you want to play Luke after a friendly unit was defeated, because once a friendly unit is defeated this phase, you put out Luke and it gives an enemy unit -6/-6. So essentially you're going to remove something huge off your opponent's board. So Luke Skywalker is definitely one of those strong units that also removes, just like Avenger is going to remove something. But Luke has restore 3, which is going to be healing every time it attacks. So you want to try to get rid of Luke that's, you know, as fast as possible, if it's possible, right? Because for 7 health, it is a pretty tanky unit. Now the next card, what is this? Where are we at here? Luke Skywalker is my number 4. So my number 3 card is Vigilance. Vigilance was one of those cards, is still one of those cards that is being used even if you don't have a double blue deck. Even as a single blue deck, and you're paying 6, it's still worth it, just because the milling, right? You have the option to just get rid of 6 cards of your opponent's deck, which is pretty hurtful. You're going to heal damage from your base if you want it. Defeat a unit with 3 or less power, or give a shield token. The key here is if you're at the end game and you want to get rid of cards, milling 6 cards out of your opponent's deck is huge. If you're going to draw this legendary card a few times, even if you draw it the max amount of times, and you're milling those 3 times, you're getting rid of 18 cards off your opponent's deck. It might not happen, but it has happened. But you have another choice, and you could heal for 5 on your base. So up to 15 times if you're able to, or 15 health if you're able to draw this card 3 times. And also the shield. If you're going to give a shield token to a unit, that's great, because it's going to prevent damage, right? Unless they have Saboteur. But either way, Vigilance quickly became a staple in command decks, and it still continues to be used to today. Actually, Vigilance. Now, next, number 2 card. This card is one of those cards that once you see it, you know it's like painful what's about to happen. And it's Overwhelming Barrage. Overwhelming Barrage, to me, has been an exercise in patience, because basically you put this on a unit and you're going to give that unit +2/+2 for the phase, but then any power that that unit has, for example, if that power is 5, now that unit has 7 for this phase. But then once you play this card with that 7 power, they can divide that damage within your units and just get rid of them. So if you're gonna put Overwhelming Barrage on Luke, for example, how much was Luke? 6. He's an 8. You know, if you put it on Avenger, it's a 10. Basically, all that damage will get spread out between your units. It hurts. It hurts because it's a board wipe. If you have a lot of low units, you're just gonna get rid of a bunch of stuff, and then you're basically starting from 0. That's happened to me so much. It's painful seeing Overwhelming Barrage, and it's a staple. It's one of these cards that is in very high demand. It's a staple. I'm not sure if there's probably more cards in the future that will be equivalent to this, but the interesting thing about this card that it's not a legendary. It's an uncommon. At the bare minimum, I think this card should have been a rare, but you know, when they designed the game, they probably didn't realize how powerful this card was. But yeah, just giving damage, because you're not attacking. Let's just make that clear. You're not attacking with a unit. You know, you're doing with this on Avenger for 10. He gives that 10 damage to everybody. Then he's able to attack that phase with 10. So yeah, that's why Overwhelming Barrage is powerful, just because you're going to deal damage without attacking. But yeah, this is an uncommon. Should have been a rare. But however, this is one of those important cards in the game. And the artwork, the hyperspace artwork is great, just because the regular card has the black border around it, and when you have the hyperspace version, it's the red border, or the red background, which is more appropriate to an Overwhelming Barrage, because it is a rough time with Overwhelming Barrage. Now, before we get to our number 1, I wanted to kind of go over some honorable mentions, and we'll do this quickly here. Honorable mentions, go to the top cam here. So we'll start with Command. The Force is with me. The Force is with me is a great card for those heroism decks, especially if you have Jedi, just because with this card you don't have to use it, control a Jedi, but if you have a Force unit, it helps. You choose a friendly unit and you give 2 experience tokens to it. If you control a Force unit, any Jedi or Force unit, also give a shield token to the chosen unit, and then you may attack with the chosen unit. So for 4, you're going to give 2 experience tokens to something at minimum, and you're going to be able to attack with it. Now obviously you want to have like Yoda out there, Obi-Wan, some kind of Force unit out there, because you'll get a shield, so you could attack something and not get damage, and then get rid of something. But either way, 2 experience tokens and then immediately attack in 1 turn. Definitely a great card to have. Another honorable mention from Spark of Rebellion is Traitorous. I was in high debate with myself if I should include this in the top 10. Maybe I should have, I don't know. But either way, Traitorous in Spark of Rebellion is a card that still is pretty powerful, because essentially you're going to take over a unit that costs 3 or less from your opponent and just bring it on your side and just start playing with it. For 5, it's a little pricey, but still, it's one of those things that you don't expect, and then when it happens, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, well now I gotta fight my own unit. So this is definitely one of those honorable mention cards. And then we have Han Solo. Han Solo is a great card just because you're going to ambush, first of all. But if you get rid of a unit, that unit doesn't matter. It's not going to deal any damage to you. It says while attacking, this unit deals comic damage before the defender. So if you're going to attack a unit by ambush or attack, and if you get rid of it, it's not going to give any damage to you. You are safe, essentially. And Han Solo's ambush ability is great just because you're going to get rid of something, right, with 6 power, and it's not going to deal any damage to you in most cases, right? In most cases. And then we have 2 event cards that are big staples in the game. We have, first of all, Open Fire. Open Fire is a aggression staple. If you have a deck that has any aggression, Open Fire is one of those great cards that costs 3, and essentially you're gonna hopefully get rid of a unit. Deal 4 damage is a lot of damage, and it's a common. So with this card, you'll be able to just get it easily. Put 3 in your deck. I definitely main deck Open Fire in my aggression decks. It's definitely key. And then you have Surprise Strike. Surprise Strike is also similar to Open Fire, except that you don't have to attack a unit, but you're giving +3 to a unit. So if you're attacking with Luke, you're going to be attacking for 9, right, immediately. So Surprise Strike, sorry, is a great card, a great event card to just have in your yellow decks. It's a staple. It's been a staple in many people's decks. So definitely one of those cards that is key. So those are my honorable mentions. Let me know if you have any other honorable mentions, because there are a lot of good cards in Spark of Rebellion. And now to my number 1 card of Spark of Rebellion, Vader. Darth Vader. Darth Vader has been one of those cards that's been very important, key card in villainy. Because with Vader, it's a 5 attack, 7 health card. It costs 7. However, when you play this card, you're gonna ambush something. You're gonna attack immediately with it. But not only that, you're gonna search your deck for 10 cards for villainy units that cost 3 or less. Combined cost of 3 or less. So you attack with Vader. You can put out a Sentinel, and then you're safe in a way for the next unit or for the next phase. Or you're going to play a unit that immediately helps you with an attack, for example, on attack ability. So Vader has been a staple in Spark of Rebellion. It continues to be one of those cards that's expensive to get, and when you pull a Vader, it's important. It's an important card for villainy. So yeah, these have been my top 10 cards for Spark of Rebellion. Let me know if you agree with them. Let me know if there's something different that you would add to this list. I would love to hear it. For me, these have been the cards that have had the most effect on me personally. And I've noticed, I've been playing the game since its release, and these are the cards I noticed that get the most gameplay and the ones that get most talk out of people, right? So, and get people more excited when they draw them. So, definitely, these are key cards, right, to get. Now we'll see what other cards get replaced with the rotation with Spark of Rebellion, because Spark of Rebellion was a great set, or is a great set to start off with, definitely. And to commemorate Spark of Rebellion, why not open up 2 more booster packs for the game? So let's do it. Let's see if we pull that Vader. Another Vader, because I need another Vader. So we got our commons here. Strike True. Strike True, also a good card, but you need units out there. We have a Hyperspace Fleet Lieutenant. Hyperspaces always look nice. I love that. I love that open concept with the art. Alright, then we have our uncommons. Admiral Ozzel. the Ghost, Cantina Bouncer, and then a rare Red 3. Another honorable mention. You know, I didn't want to include so many cards, but I know someone hopefully will say Red 3, because Red 3 is definitely a key card for heroism, aggression. It's still being used till today. And then we have a common foil patrolling B-Wing. Alright, one more pack. Like I said, there's so many cards in Spark of Rebellion that I wish I could include more than that, but we'll be here all night. You know, it's already, what is it? It's almost 1 in the morning for me. So, it's, gotta keep it kind of light, Alright, so we have our commons here, nothing, no hyperspaces there. AT-AT, Wing Leader, shoot first, and let's see if we get a legendary. Nope, we got a rare. Don't get cocky. I haven't used this card yet. Maybe one day. Choose a unit one at a time. Reveal cards from your deck until you choose to stop, and have revealed 7 cards. If the combined cost of the revealed cards is 7 or less, deal that much damage to the chosen unit. Put the reveal cards at the bottom of your deck in random order. So, I don't know. Maybe this is why the reason I haven't used this card, just because you're going to reveal all those cards and then you're going to put them on the bottom of the deck. What if there was a card there that you wanted to play? You're not going to see it this game. And then we have a common Moment of Peace foil. Yeah, so no legendaries here, but we did get a key card, an important card, Red 3. Definitely an important card in heroism, aggression. So yeah, well, that's the video for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for going through this list with me. I'll do more of these with other sets. Let me know what you think, what your opinion is on which cards are key cards of Spark of Rebellion. Let me know if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, but either way, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing as well and supporting me. So until the next time.